Hey friends, welcome to another Wolverine live stream. I'm just feeling kind of bored, getting ready for a big blizzard here in Colorado, and figured I would pop on and see how you guys are doing, talk a little bit about what's coming up for my channel, and just sort of check in. And I find that it's a lot easier for me to do these lives than it is to like film a video and then edit the video and put it up. So this is a lot easier for me, even though maybe it's not as interesting or as polished as an edited video. So yeah, I am in the Denver metro area here in Colorado, and we are under a winter storm warning because we are expected to get up to 36 inches of snow. Now that might sound extreme and insane, but in Colorado, I've lived here most of my life, and we have had blizzards like this. I want to say like every 10 years we get a big one. The last one I can remember that was over 3 feet was, I want to say 2003. So it was a minute ago. So, so we're getting ready for Snowmageddon. And, I'm kind of excited about that because neither one of my kids has ever seen a giant snowstorm like that. But of course, after what happened in Texas and the South with the weather, people are a little on edge. So I know my sister-in-law went to the grocery store today and couldn't find any chicken. Everything was gone. People stocked up. They're freaked out. It's going to snow. So it's a little bit of pandemonium. And I know Amazon, all the deliveries are delayed because of the snow incoming. So hi, Flower. How are you? Oh, Tammy. Sorry. Hi, Tammy. I'm, just hanging out in my pajamas. I dressed up for you guys this evening. I figured I would just log on in my pajamas because with this weather coming, I don't know about some of you guys if you have chronic illnesses or pain. Hi, Yarny Zebra. Weather makes it so much more difficult to bear. Like my joints are all screaming at me. So I figure, I played video games earlier today, and that was a good distraction for a while. And I really enjoy coming on here and talking to you guys on these lives. So I figured I would do that. I am crocheting. So if you see me looking down, you're in your pajamas too. See, it's different though, because everybody can see me. At least they're cute pajamas. They have like a hood and everything. They're pretty special. I actually wore clothes earlier today, and then my joints started to hurt, and I told my husband I was putting on my blizzard gear. So this is my blizzard gear. I'm probably going to be stuck in bed for like the next 3 days because of the snow. I can't handle it. It hurts too much. But, we have our good days and our bad days. I am excited because I know the kids are going to want to go out and play. Yeah, rainy overnights. Yeah. So it's this really interesting phenomenon. When you have arthritis in your joints or joint pain in general, before weather comes in, the air pressure, the atmospheric pressure drops. And what happens is your joints actually swell. So the inside of your joints swell, and then you end up with, more pain, more severe symptoms, more stiffness, more crankiness, if you're me. But yeah, my son jokingly calls me the bromometer because I'm like a barometer, but I can guess the weather. I can usually tell them if it's snow or rain and when it's going to be here. And I have more accurate readings than the news usually. But of course, the news is never accurate in Colorado for the weather. I mean, you couldn't predict the weather here if you wanted to. It's just too crazy. Because it can be like 75, 75 degrees outside 1 minute, and then in the afternoon it's snowing. Oh, I do have a couple of mods, Yarny. Don't worry, I do have a few. Right now it looks like it's just the three of us, so I'm not too worried about it. But don't forget to hit the like button. I always forget to tell everybody that. Don't forget to hit the like button. I did want to tell you guys I am about to start doing some new tutorials. And I apologize. It's going to take a while because I'm still working on this one. And I crochet a lot slower than most people because of my joint pain, my hands, and my fatigue. So, I have trouble keeping up. I know some people put out like a tutorial a week. That's not going to happen with me. I wish that it would, but it's It's just not possible with my limitations. So I am going to make a tutorial for this one, the Lark's Foot Rainbow Baby Blanket. But I think what I'm going to do when I do the tutorials, wherever it's black, I think I'm going to use cream so that it's easier to see. Because I've seen a few tutorials where they do, you know, black yarn or a dark yarn, and you really can't see what they're doing. I would say that it's probably an advanced beginner intermediate crochet pattern. It's really not hard. It's just you kind of have to pay attention, you know. I know you understand, Unity. That's why I love that you're here, because I don't feel I think if I was just a yarn channel, I would feel a lot more pressure to do more tutorials, and I do enjoy filming tutorials, but you know, you have to take into account like your own well-being and your health. And so if people don't have the patience for me to put out tutorials, luckily there's a ton of them out there. But I'm going to do a tutorial for the Lark's Foot Rainbow Blanket. I'm going to come up with a cuter name than that. And then I think I showed you guys my Trinity Stitch blanket in Bernat Baby Marley. So I'm going to do a tutorial for that one as well. So it'll probably be a few weeks. I mean, honestly, it takes me so long. So just, you know, get excited, but not too excited, because I don't want you to get impatient. So those are a couple of tutorials that are coming up. I was also thinking of just doing like a Lark's Foot stitch tutorial, because a lot of people have said that they really love it. Well, it's actually upside down. A lot of people have said that they really love this one. Just the stitch, and the whole thing is Lark's Foot. The black rows are Lark's Foot and the stitches in between, and then the border is just double crochet. So it's, you know, it's really simple. It's not a hard blanket to make. I think the hardest part was finding the right colors that I wanted to do, and to figure out what weight I wanted to do it in. This is a DK. I might do it in a worsted. I'm not sure. It just depends on how I'm feeling when I make the tutorial, but so that's coming up. I do want to do some more herbal tutorials. I need to make another batch of soap, so I'm going to do a soap tutorial, and I'm going to make some more body butter. So I'll be doing maybe not a tutorial because you guys have already seen that, but that might be kind of allotted into a, what's it called, a compilation, when they show you everything they've done for the week, a vlog. And then, of course, on Tuesday, my giveaway is ending, so I will be picking a winner for that. And hopefully they have the right answer, and they're in the United States, and I can just go with the first winner that I pick, and that'll be exciting to send that stuff off. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, I was going to ask if you guys have any suggestions of stuff to watch while you're stitching. Like, what do you watch while you're stitching? Because I find that if I try to watch a show that I'm really interested in, I miss half of it because I'm looking at my project, right? So like, what do you guys watch while you're stitching? Like, what's a good show to listen to while you're crocheting or knitting? I would love to know what you guys get up to. Or if you listen to podcasts too, if you have podcast suggestions, because I am running out of shows. And some of the shows that I watched, it's like you can watch an episode or two, but it's so much drama that it's just, you can't really binge it. So, oh, we got 3 people, but only 1 thummy. You guys like my stuff. I always feel so weird asking people to like and subscribe. I'm like and subscribe, because it feels like you're begging to be popular. You know, you're like, please love me. But it's just the algorithms for YouTube. The more likes you get, the more, you know, people get to see your content. So, oh, you do music. See, that's a good idea. I hadn't considered. I don't think I've ever crocheted music before. I think I would lose count if it was something that I had to count to. If you guys hear any crashing in the background, it's just my daughter. She's playing. So she's got her blocks out, it sounds like. Kay loves streaming. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to listen to that a lot. It's nice, easy listening music. I'm a lot more into instrumental music now than I used to be. I really like Yo-Yo Ma and anything by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra around Christmas time. Audiobooks. Yeah. Oh, and well, yeah, that's why I wanted to do a live too, because I figure I can talk and stitch at the same time. You guys aren't going to get offended. It's kind of like hanging out, but, you know, only only I'm visible. It looks like you guys are all voices in my head is what it looks like, because I'm sitting here talking to myself, but replying to questions nobody else can hear. But yeah, I figured nobody would get offended if I popped on and I just was crocheting a bit. I did just finish playing a video game. I just started playing video games recently, and I just beat one today, and I'm really proud of that. But I was surprised because it had a really sad ending. YouTube and music for you. Yeah. I mean, that's probably a good way to do it, though, because my issue right now is that I'm getting burnt out on my favorite shows. Like a half hour or an hour of something is just too long. Like, especially when, I don't know if you have this experience, but, well, we don't have any snow yet, actually. It's supposed to start at like 2. I'm looking out my window right now. We don't have any yet, but we're supposed to get up to 3 feet. So it starts at like 1 o'clock in the morning this morning, and then it's going to rain. It's going to snow all the way until Monday afternoon. So 3 days. Oh, hey, Deanne, how's it going? I was just asking these lovely people what they watch when they're stitching or listen to. And I was saying that my issue is I get kind of burnt out on shows. Like you end up binge watching something and then you just don't want to look at it again. You're like, oh. I was watching Call the Midwife for a while. That one's really good. And Poldark is really good, but there's, they're kind of dramatic, and so there's only so much of it you can handle. I'm good. I'm preparing, like I'm kind of hunkered down. The reason I'm in my pajamas is because it's going to snow. We're supposed to get like 3 feet. I doubt we'll get that much. I think we'll probably get more like 1.5 feet. But, yeah, it hurts. So I'm not really looking forward to it as much as I would like to. I think it's beautiful, but it's painful. So I'm just kind of hanging out and slowly crocheting and trying to be grateful for all of my pillows and blankets and my space heater and things, because I know that it could be so much more uncomfortable than it is, and I am blessed. But man, I got to tell you, this weather, it just hurts. Oh, the chat just jumped. Cool. So yeah. Also, Deanne, you missed it, but we were talking about some of the tutorials I'm going to be doing. And I was saying that, please be patient, because it takes me forever to crochet anything with my hands. Like I have some joint issues. And so in the next few weeks, I'm hoping to get up a tutorial for this one, the Rainbow Lark's Foot baby blanket, and then for the Trinity Stitch baby blanket in Bernat Baby Marley. Getting ready to have your dinner. Yes, you too. Have a wonderful night, Yarny. Thank you for coming. Yes, be grateful for those pillows. They are such a blessing and a warm house to be in. There's so much that we can be grateful for. Thank you, Deanne. Yeah, I really like this one. It's for a friend who, she's having her rainbow baby. So rainbow baby is a baby that you have after you've had a pregnancy loss. So I'm really excited to be making this for her. It's to celebrate the rainbow that comes after the storm, Yeah, this is one of my favorites that I've done so far. I'm going to do a tutorial for this one, but I'm going to use cream where the black is. So I'm going to make another one, but it's going to be cream instead of black. But it'll probably take me a few weeks to get it up because I'm slow. So yeah, I'm just doing it in acrylic too. I really love how it's coming out. I'm using Paintbox DK, Simply DK. So, oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Yarny. I appreciate you stopping by and sharing with all your friends. I love having people here. I'm not sure that I have that much to talk about, but you're crocheting bunnies for the grandbabies. Oh, that's sweet. I was thinking about doing some crocheted Easter baskets for my kids this year, because I haven't ever done that. And I want to do like Christmas stockings too. I want to start making crocheted holiday items. Maybe that's a rite of passage as a crocheter. I don't know. I always get so burnt out on my Christmas crochet that, the idea of crocheting for a holiday for the rest of the year just sounds awful. Yeah, I think so. My son is going to be 12 next month, and he's still really sweet, which is awesome. I'm so grateful. But I'm thinking, he might not want an Easter basket next year, so please excuse any crashing. That's just my daughter playing with her blocks. She knows I'm doing a video, so she's probably a little jealous of my attention being elsewhere, but she's hanging out with her daddy. I made a crocheted bunny for my niece for Christmas, and it came out so cute. I'll have to post pictures of it. Maybe I'll do a tutorial for it, actually. It was really easy. It was a little amigurumi bunny. So cute. I love the idea of making, I don't know about you guys, but my favorite things to make are like baby and kid items. I love to make baby blankets and baby clothes and baby toys. Just, kids just light up when they get something just for them. So it's really special to make toys and things. For Christmas, I made a toy for every kid in my family. So on my husband's family, I made a toy for both of my nephews and my niece, and then both of my kids. And so by the end of that, I was just, and then I made hats for my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. And I'm still working on a pocket shawl for my other sister-in-law. He has a big family, so they're turning out bigger than you expected. Yes, I know not everybody swatches, but it's so important sometimes because you can read a pattern that says 4mm hook, but if you use loose tension, then your 4mm is like anybody else's 5.5. It's tricky when that happens. Are you making like stuffed animal bunnies, or are they like doily bunnies? What kind of bunnies are you making? I wonder if it's something you can, adjust. Hi, Susan. I'm good. You just got here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's not really a planned out live, so I'm just kind of rambling on and seeing how everybody's doing, talking about crochet projects and whatnot, upcoming tutorials. So they're stuffed. So are they coming out are they wholly? Is there too much space in between the stitches? Because I've done that before and the stuffing comes out. And the only thing I can recommend there is get some cheap knee-high pantyhose from like Walgreens and put your stuffing in there before you put it in the crocheted animals so that it doesn't come out through the hooks, through the holes. No, they're not. So, it's tricky because I don't know how you even really gauge for a stuffed animal. Are you following a pattern, or is it just your own design? I have trouble following patterns. I am such a rebel. Like, I have bought patterns before and bought all the yarn for them and sat down and started with the pattern. And then somewhere along the lines, I can't help myself. I just go off the rails and start doing my own thing. I have been told I should write patterns. So I'm thinking maybe if I do a tutorial for like this blanket, that I can go back and watch it and write down the pattern and then maybe sell that. I don't know. Or give it away for free. I don't really know. I'm kind of a terrible business person. So there's all these things that you could be, that I could be selling, and I'm just, yeah, you can have it. Drives my husband up a wall. But we're not just here to make money, like you got to live your life. I just enjoy making things, and I love giving things to people. I love, love, love like doing giveaways, or, like my friend who's having her baby, making her blanket. Hey, Kim got a new groove. Welcome. I did do my hat. It has a puff ball too. I won't take it off because then you'll see my hair, and that's like a no-no for me, but it's just, I'll get really close. It's just a puff stitch beanie. I used, I can't remember what the name of this, I think it was Gemstone. I think Red Heart Gemstone was the name of this yarn. It's a little dingy, honestly. It needs a wash, but yeah, it's just a puff stitch. And then I made it really big, so it's kind of like a snood. And then I did just a, front post, back post, double crochet kind of ribbing around the edge for like 2 or 3 rows. But I like this hat. This is one of my favorites. It's the hat that I wear when I don't feel like wrapping my hair in a scarf. So But so, Kim, I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome. How'd you hear about me? If you don't mind me asking, I'm so nosy. I'm like, tell me. I know the Yarny Zebra was saying she shared me, so, which is great. She's lovely. I love her. We're both zebras. We both have rare diseases, so she's part of my dazzle. I was thinking, you know, there's a couple of National Geographic shows on Disney Plus I was thinking about watching, but every time I try watching something like that, I get distracted by my crochet, and then I end up missing half of the storyline, so I have a really hard time. I do like podcasts, though. I usually listen to them when I'm trying to go to sleep, though, so they kind of put me in that space, and then I'm too tired to crochet. Do you guys ever lose your crojo, where you're like, you just don't want to make anything? Like, you want to, but then you start and you're not feeling it? Because I think that's normal. I feel like everybody kind of goes through periods where they just don't feel like crocheting. And then I remember the last time I felt that way, I thought I was never going to get my crojo back, right? I was never going to start crocheting again. It just felt like impossible. And then everybody got pregnant, and I was like, oh, I got to make baby blankets. So I was pretty burnt out after Christmas, though. You were in the live? Oh, it might have been Granny D. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm glad you're here either way. Welcome. But anyway, I have been finding that if I do lose my crojo, the surest way to fix it is to just buy new yarn. My husband doesn't approve of that method, but I just ordered a bunch of yarn from Knit Crate. I got, not sponsored, I just happened to get Knit Crate. I got like 10 hanks of chonk yarn because I want to make a sweater. I've never made a sweater before. And so it's like, I'm going to make a sweater. I'm going to get 10 hanks of this, and I'm going to make a sweater. And it turns out that I only need like 5 hanks for a sweater. So now I might make 2 sweaters. I don't know. It depends on how the first one goes, I think. Oh, this thing behind me, I did not do this. I bought this. It's basically like a painted sheet. It's just a mandala thing. It cost me like $5. I was getting sick of the plain blue wall. But you have to crochet every day. I feel the same way, but I've gone through periods, especially like if you overextend yourself into the crochet world, like Christmas killed. Like I had to crochet so many things for Christmas. I started in October and I wasn't done until February. And like, I didn't want to look at a hook. I didn't want to look at yarn. I didn't want to look at a hook. I was over it. I like hated crochet for a minute. And then, a couple of my friends started getting pregnant, and I was like, okay, it's time to make some blankets. I feel like when I do lose my crojo, the kids projects really bring it back, you know, like making toys for the kids and just random little things. Like I made my daughter a little kitty cat headband for our spa days yesterday, and that was fun. I just I'm hoping to start making a bunch of extra baby blankets that aren't actually intended for anybody so that I can do a craft fair this winter if it's safe. If I have my vaccine and it's safe, I want to do an in-person craft fair this winter because it's been so long. And I think it would be a lot of fun to have a crochet craft fair because usually I do my herbal stuff and I want to do both, but I've never actually sold anything that I've crocheted except to a close friend. So it helps my anxiety too, Deanne. Absolutely. As far as like medication and mindfulness and all these other things, what helps my anxiety the most is to crochet, especially in the car. When my husband is driving, I always have a hook and yarn with me because I know I'm going to get anxious and it keeps me sane. And I also spend a lot of time stuck in bed because of my health. And so I can't imagine, I cannot even begin to imagine what my life would be like if I couldn't crochet, which I came pretty close to having to quit because my hands were getting so bad, but then I found the hooks that I got, these ones. I feel like I'm plugging these every every single live and video, and I promise I'm not sponsored, but they're just amazing. They've given me my ability to crochet back. So it definitely helps my anxiety as well. I think anything where you can create, you know, painting or drawing or writing, crocheting, can be helpful for anxiety. But I do find that like the repetitive stitch after stitch after stitch, it's so soothing, like to my soul. Yeah. It's just, there's something about it where like it works better than anything else. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love these hooks. These are from the Wood Cozy Workshop on Etsy, and I have her link. I did a video about these when I got them, and I think I put her link. I think her link is in most of my videos, honestly. You can probably find it on most of my videos because I just love these so much. And I was just saying in the last live that I got this, it's a makeup brush bag that I put them into. So the set that I got, it was 7 of these. So it was all except one of these, and this one. And it was $120 for hand-turned wood hooks. They're made out of Siberian cedar. For $120, I got 7 hooks. And like when you think about what, you know, one hand-turned wooden hook costs, you know, to support a small business woman, I think it's absolutely worth it. These hooks were a great value. And I use them every day, like every day. They're the only hooks I use now, unless I need a half size, because she doesn't do half sizes. She just does, the ones that I got are size 4 through 10, I believe. So she doesn't do half sizes. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is basically the set that I got. But when I need a half size, I have a light up hook that my husband got me. I think it was Mother's Day or my birthday. Some holiday, he got me some light up hooks so that I could crochet at night. And when I need a half size, I end up using those. But yeah, I typically pick patterns that don't have half sizes specifically so I can use these hooks. I mean, that's how much I like them. I had a really cute hook from, I think her name is the Happy Hooker on Etsy. And it's a polymer clay hook. And it was so pretty, but they were too heavy. I couldn't crochet with it because it's so heavy. So like the wooden ones are so light, I can actually use it. But yeah, they are good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I am spoiled rotten. These hooks are amazing. You can't take meds. Yeah, I understand that. The medication that I take is actually an allergy. It's an allergy medication. And they use it off-label for anxiety. And it works okay for me, but crochet definitely is my first line of defense against anxiety. And I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So I have a lot of anxiety. And crochet, I feel like, has given me a lot of my life back. Because no matter what's going on in the world, you can pick up a hook and some string, and if all you do is chain and then frog and then chain and then frog, even just that, you know, is so soothing and so repetitive and so predictable and soft that by the end of it, you know, you just feel better, even if you don't actually make anything. Just to the action of crocheting is so soothing. So I get you. I always have yarn with me. Like, even if I'm not going to use it, I bring it, because you never know, right? Like, you never know when you're going to be anxious. So it's nice to have yarn. Or if you have to wait in the car for some reason, like, let's say we have to run to the store, my husband has to run in and get something, and I don't want to go in because then I have to get my wheelchair. I can just sit in the car and crochet. I mean, I could sit in the car and crochet even if we were parked in front of the house, because I love to crochet in the car. Do you ever crochet? Like, I know a lot of us are doing our doctor's appointments via telehealth now, but whenever I go to a doctor's appointment, and I have tons, I'm always crocheting in the waiting room. And I have made so many friends at my doctor's office that way. Because, you know, you sit down and you're crocheting, and then somebody pulls out their knitting, and they're like, oh, fellow yarny. That's fantastic. I'm so excited. This is such a silly thing to be excited about. But so this is my phone, and I put a new case on it, right? And I had a pop socket on the back, which are these little handles that stick onto the back of your phone and then pop up so you can hold them. Mine broke. So I actually ordered myself a new one. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to pull it up. I'm so excited about this thing. So I don't think you can read it. That's so it's a new pop socket, and it says, "Just pour me my coffee, hand me my crochet, now slowly back away." I got such a kick out of that. I thought it was so funny. Like, because that's how I am in the mornings. My husband, oh God bless him, he is such a blessing in my life. I'm not gonna lie. Every morning, the man wakes me up this way. Every morning. So this is, it's such a blessing. He will wait until the coffee is ready, and then he will bring it and set it next to me on the bed. Like, he'll set it on the nightstand, and then he'll wake me up. And when I'm having like a pain flare, like right now because of the weather, he always gives me coffee, and then he says, "Why don't you crochet?" So I feel like that little pop socket is perfect, because just pour the coffee, give me the yarn, and walk away. Just nobody gets hurt, right? But I thought it was really sweet. The one I had before was a moon, but I broke that thing. I wrecked it. I didn't even know you could break those. I broke it. I broke it completely. Like, it's not even a little usable. But with my hand issues, I find that, I have trouble holding a phone like this. So having something that goes in between my fingers and just lets me kind of like not hold it is a lot easier. I feel like I need a shirt that says that too, Deanna. Like, it's so funny. Like, just slowly back away. There was so many on there because I got it from Amazon, and it was, I think it's $9 or $10, something like that. But if you just go on Amazon and search for yarn pop sockets, like, they have so many, and they're all so cute. So it was really hard to choose one. It was between that one, and then there was one with like a little kitty cat on it holding a ball of yarn, and it said, "I was told I could bring my yarn." But the coffee one fit my personality better because I don't go anywhere. So hi, Handmade Designs. Welcome. How are you this evening, or whatever time it is where you are, wherever you are out there in the internet universe? We were just talking about silly yarn pop sockets. My pop socket broke, so I bought myself a new one that says, just pour me my coffee, hand me my crochet, and back away slowly." Good evening. It's almost 8 p.m. So we're in a similar, I'm an hour behind you. So I'm Mountain Standard Time. So you must be to the east, Midwest. I'm going to guess Indiana. Let me know. If you feel like you don't have to let me know. Yeah, I'm in the USA too. I'm in Colorado, but I said that I'm an hour behind you, so I know you're to the east of me, and I said, I bet you're in Indiana. You're working on knitting a cardigan? See, that's like witchcraft to me, because I have knitting needles, and I have knitted exactly one mitten in my life. One mitten. Chicago, Illinois. That's close. Started with an I. Midwest. Close. But I see these beautiful intricate patterns that people knit, and I love them, and I listen to podcasts about knitting, and I'm obsessed with knitting. I can't do it. Like, I've made one mitten. I don't know why I have such a hard time. Such a hard time. You're in Indiana, Deanne. See, I knew somebody was in Indiana. How's the weather in Indiana right now? Because here in Colorado, we are getting ready for some serious snow. They're talking 3 feet. The last time we had 3 feet of snow, I believe, was 2003. We've had a lot of snowstorms since then, but not quite that much. So we'll see. I kind of hope we get that much, because I remember as a kid that it was magical when you could build like full-on fortresses out of the snow. So I'm kind of hoping that my kids will get to have that experience this year. Oh, I can't do eyelash yarn. You're doing all sorts of things that I can't handle. You're knitting and you're using eyelash yarn. Like, you should have a YouTube. Like, that's way above my skill set. Yeah, see, I don't have the patience for it. If you have to remove it 3 times, it's like I remove it twice and then I'm done. Just roll it up and give it to the Goodwill. I can't do it. I'm working on it though. I'm trying to have patience. I'm kind of like ADD when it comes to my crochet projects. I'll start one and then I'll find yarn that I like or another pattern that I like, and I'll start another, and I'll have 4 or 5 going at a time. And this is the first time in my life where I'm working on one project. I have other projects that are not finished yet, but I'm only working on this one until it's done because she's going to have a baby and there is a time limit. You can't give up once or it's a fail. If it's a fail, I can't, I just can't with the eyelash yarn and the knitting. Like, my mom got me some really chunky knitting needles. I'm going to try with those and like a really thick yarn. But the only things I've ever knitted were one mitten, which came out really good, by the way, and a headband for my daughter. And I wish I had whatever it is that you guys have that like makes you a knitter. I feel like if I had learned it first, maybe I would like it better. But crochet is just so much faster. Do you crochet as well, or are you just a knitter? Because I know a lot of people do both. I like to claim that I do both because I have done both, but that doesn't mean that I'm not proficient in knitting, like, by any means. Last time, you're almost done, but you had a small mistake with stitches. You wanted to fix it. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. I don't have the patience. You have 2 whips because you keep crocheting for everyone else. I do the same thing, Deanne. Like, other than this hat, I can't remember the last time I made myself something. And I made this hat like 2 years ago. So it's time, right? Like, I need to make myself something. I am working on my dragon project, which is the Sacred Space by Helen Shrimpton. And I love, love, love the way that it's looking, but it's just, I haven't gotten back to it, It's just kind of there. It's just kind of existing because I broke my 5mm hook when I wanted to work on it, and then I had to wait for new hooks, and by then I had started this. So, I don't know. You do both. You learn crochet first. See, I learned crochet first, and then I learned knitting, and I just feel like maybe it's just the trouble I have with my hands. I can't seem to do it for nearly as long as I can crochet for. I did find out, though, that I prefer circular needles to straight needles. I don't like straight needles. I prefer circular 100% of the time. You're not good at knitting, but you want to learn, you can't give up. No, I agree. If you want to learn it and you have the patience for it, by all means, of course. My issue is, I don't have the patience for it because I am an instant gratification kind of person, but also I have a lot of pain in my hands, and it seems to be worse with knitting needles than it is with a big fat crochet hook because I need something big to hold on to. You're going to crochet yourself something and put away to crochet for the grandbabies. I mean, I think if you make yourself something really pretty, maybe if you make yourself a really nice blanket, that's something that they might remember you by, later on. Yeah, circular needles are definitely better on like blankets and things. I have an Afghan that my grandma started to knit, and it's on circular needles, and she said that she started making it for my brother before he was born. And my brother is now 35. He'll be 36 in May. And so I have this half-finished baby blanket that was meant for my brother. And I need to learn how to knit well enough to finish it because I just feel like, finishing something my grandma worked on is special. It is true. I have noticed that in handmade designs, I have noticed that when you knit, it doesn't eat up yarn quite as much as crocheting does. And you can use like the really thin yarns and get such beautiful fabric. Like, I love the way that it looks. I did buy myself a knitting machine, and I have been making hats with it. But as far as like knitting things by hand, I think I just need more practice and more patience. Yeah, it takes a lot of patience, Dan. Like, I think people that knit don't give themselves enough credit, because every time that I've tried to learn how to knit, I make one mistake and then I quit. I quit. I think once you know how to fix it and things, maybe it's a little bit faster, but it goes so slow compared to crochet, in my opinion, that I just can't do it. I have done Tunisian crochet as well, and I have the same problem. It's an issue with my hands hurting because the needle is too thin. Let's see. If we use knitting top, it looks like t-shirt, then crochet, taking too much time. Yeah, it just takes forever, right? Like it just takes so long. And the people that make, they make these beautiful shawls. I have a little yarny group on Facebook called the Yarn Pal Sanctuary, if you guys want to join. But a lot of the ladies in there are knitters, and I'm always just blown away. Like, I love color work. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love color work. It's beautiful. But I cannot imagine sitting there long enough to learn how to do it, because like with crochet, you want to learn a new stitch, you watch 5 minutes of a YouTube video and you've got it, right? Like, it's a variation of double crochet most of the time. Like, it's super easy. But with knitting, you have to be able to tell the difference between knitting and purling, and then you have to be able to like read your work, and you need to know how to fix your work, and like all these different things. And I'm sure once I've got those skills that it won't feel quite as insurmountable, but I'm just as happy to crochet for the rest of my life. I wanted to learn knitting because of the color work, but I did find out that you can do color work with crochet as well. And so I might do some projects and do tutorials for that, but yeah, it's taking, yeah. You want to learn too, Deanne? Yeah. There's so much I want to learn. I love the look of Tunisian crochet, but I just have such trouble with my hands. So anytime that the tool is like thinner than this, I can't do it. I can only work on it for a couple of minutes, then I have to quit. I have to take a break or stop because my hands hurt too much. But I'm looking for like a Tunisian hook, maybe with like a chunky handle, but I don't know. Maybe it's just not meant to be, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm just holding it the wrong way, because I don't know about you guys, if you do pencil or knife when you crochet, like, let me know. Like, you hold it like a pencil, or do you hold it like a knife? Because I hold it like a knife. And I feel like for knitting, it's kind of like, it feels more natural to me to do a knife hold than to do a pencil hold when it comes to knitting. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I only do pencil hold when my hand is too worn out from knife hold to keep doing it, and I want to keep crocheting. Or like if I have a deadline for something, which I'm the only one that ever gives myself deadlines, but do you guys ever do that? Like, you don't actually have a deadline, but you want to get something done by a certain point, and so you make yourself stress out about it for no reason. Like, nobody cares if you get it done on time. I can't hold a regular hook either. I mean, I do have pretty good sized hands, but it's more, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so my collagen is really stretchy and my joints are really unstable. So like, I don't want to gross you guys out, but I can turn my thumb like all the way around. And so when I'm holding stuff, what happens is my joints actually bend kind of backwards and then end up causing some cramping in my hands. Knife hold, knife. Yeah. Knife hold seems, I don't know, because when you go into the big groups on Facebook or YouTube and you ask that question, it seems like it's 50-50. But it seems like the people that I hang out with almost exclusively use the knife hold. So maybe we're just, attracted to each other in that way. There's like some sort of magnetic knife hold attraction going on. Something in the cosmos bringing us all together. But is anybody here left-handed? Because I'm left-handed, I crochet right-handed, but I'm left-handed. So I wonder, like, if there's anybody here that's left-handed, because that would be funny if we were all left-handed, wouldn't it? Like, what are the odds? Oh, we lost somebody. Somebody left. Maybe they were a pencil hold person. Sorry, I was just drinking some water. They were like, knife holders. I'm out of here. No, just kidding. It does make me a little sad when they leave without saying goodbye, but I've been in enough lives to know that sometimes you get booted out. You're left-handed, Deanne? That's awesome. You're right-handed? See, I think that's almost always, the majority is usually right-handed. So it's like when you find a lefty, it's like this instant kinship, right? Like, doorknobs are the worst. But I do crochet right-handed. I do. Because the person that taught me was right-handed, and she could not adapt to teaching me left-handed. So I adapted to learning right-handed. You have to crochet left-handed. I did try to crochet left-handed, but I have been crocheting for so long that it became habitual to just crochet right-handed. But for a while, so like now I'm crocheting across the top of my work like a normal person, but usually I would have my work upside down and I would crochet upwards. I would always put it out in front of me and I would crochet upwards. So I have just recently, because of my hand troubles, I'm trying to be more ergonomic, and I have just recently started going from right to left across the top of my work. Because before it was this really, that and because of tutorials, like there is no way that you could learn from me the way that I used to crochet. Because it's like upside down and backwards, and I'm crocheting vertically instead of across. Like it was a big mess. But now I crochet like a right-handed person. Have you ever had that experience, Deanne, where like somebody is right-handed and they're trying to teach you something, but they have such a hard time that you end up just learning it right-handed because they just can't adapt. Like they cannot adapt to doing it left-handed, I guess. Yeah, that's what I usually do. But with crochet, it just did, for years, it did not make sense to me. And all I could do was a chain stitch for the longest time. And so I probably studied books and diagrams. This is before YouTube. Yeah, I'm that old. Before YouTube, I used to look in books and magazines and diagrams and just try everywhere to find out how to crochet. And I couldn't figure it out until I started to do it left-handed, or right-handed, I mean, because all of the diagrams were made for right-handed people. So I ended up learning right-handed, although I didn't learn correctly until literally like when I started this YouTube channel, is when I started crocheting across the top of my work instead of upwards. Because I had adapted to, using my right hand to crochet, but I was still doing a lot of the work with my left hand. But I would say, even though I am predominantly left-handed, I am pretty ambidextrous because I do crochet right-handed. I throw things right-handed. I can write right-handed. I mostly write left-handed. So, but naturally I'm a left-handed person. I hold my fork with my left hand, my chopsticks in my left hand, whatever. I eat with my left hand. So, yeah. Oh, hi, Jane. How's it going? I'm so happy you're here. Oh, how fun. I was just checking the time. I've been on for 48 minutes. I'm actually probably going to pop off soon because my hips are really starting to hurt and I need to lay down. Snowstorm, yay. But I'm glad you're here, Jane. How are you? Yeah, you made it. I'm so happy you made it. See, Jane and I became instant friends because Jane was having a live and I popped on the video to talk to her. I don't know if you guys saw that one or not, but you can't do anything with your right hand. I feel like that's the norm. I actually became kind of ambidextrous because in middle school I broke my arm, my left arm, and so I had to learn how to do stuff with my right arm. So that's kind of where it shifted for me. I wasn't usually that ambidextrous, but when when you're in school and you have a broken arm, you have to learn how to write somehow. I actually broke my elbow, so I was in a cast up to my armpit all summer. It was awful. Okay. I'm really glad Jane made it. Yay! Jane and I met when she was having a rough day, and we've been just fast friends ever since. I just love her to bits. Deanne, I'm wondering where I met all of you guys, because I know I met a lot of you guys over on Crochet Rocks. I know I met probably most of you guys over there. And then I might have met a few of you in the Triple C and I'm wondering where I met everybody. I just kind of collect people along the way. I'm finding that you kind of get a few from everywhere. Let's see, every time you see. Oh my gosh, that would be an awesome, like, if I ever make merch, Jane, you've just designed my merchandise. She said, every time I see your name, I think of Logan Wolverine with balls of yarn on his blades. I love that. Like, if I ever have merch, it's going to be Wolverine with, like, balls of wool stuck to his claws. That would be fantastic. That would be great merch right there. Like, I would pay for that. I don't know if anybody else would, but I would pay for that. That would be a lot of fun. How are you, Jane? How's your day? You feeling okay today? I know you've been having a rough time. I know I'm having a rough time. I am going to have to sign off soon because my hip is really starting to bug me. It's supposed to snow like 3 feet here, so we'll see. I'm betting like 1.5 feet, but when it does snow, I will show you guys. I will make a video and I will post it because it's probably going to be insane. We're not going to go anywhere. We are staying home all weekend. We are not leaving. We went to the grocery store this morning. Not leaving the house. We got firewood just in case the power goes out. You know, we're good. We got everything we need. You're out of here. All right, Tammy, you have a good night. Thank you so much for coming. It was wonderful to see you. Bye. Yeah, I know how that goes, Jane. Like, you can't stand how dirty your house gets, and then you clean the whole thing, and then you have no energy for, like, to appreciate it even. But hey, good job getting your house clean, because mine is not, like, at all right now. No. Well, you guys, I'm going to have to go because my hip is dislocating, and honestly, it's not fun. It hurts. So I think I'm going to go microwave bear me and stick them on my hip and just lay down, probably watch some bad TV or something. But I'm glad I popped on and that I got to see all you guys. It was wonderful to, like, have another conversation. Yeah, you're overdrafted. Take care of yourself, Jane. Make sure you drink enough water, you know? Something that's really been helping me lately is electrolytes. Like, I take electrolytes, and that makes a huge difference. But I know how that goes. It's a huge, like, you have to choose, right? Do you clean the house, or do you crochet, or do you go out, you know? Good night, my friends. Thank you guys so much for coming and keeping me company. I will definitely message you. I don't know what's going on with that, Jane. It hasn't been working for me either, so I will see what's up with that. But all right, you guys, have a wonderful night. Don't forget that you are precious, beloved beings. Wash your hands, wear your masks, be kind to yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys next time. All right, have a good night, y'all. Bye.